The Buffalo Bills are coming into this 2022 NFL season with high expectations, and those expectations are warranted. Whether it's been the play from Josh Allen, whether it's been the moves that they made during this offseason to improve this roster, or whether it's just guys coming back healthy for 2022. The Bills have potential and expectations to overtake the Cincinnati Bengals and become the AFC champions and represent the AFC in this upcoming Super Bowl. But in today's video, we're going to talk about, can those expectations actually become the reality for the Buffalo Bills and they actually get over the hump and finally make it to a Super Bowl. But before I talk about that, make sure you guys leave this video a like, as it always helps this channel to continue to grow and it beats the YouTube algorithm. And about 96% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed to the channel. So if you fit into that criteria, make sure you click that subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the content that I post on this channel. But it's time to talk about the Buffalo Bills. Without further ado, let's dive into it. The Buffalo Bills are a football team that have coming off of back-to-back losses to the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. That includes a 2020 AFC Championship game appearance where the Kansas City Chiefs absolutely beat the Buffalo Bills, and is coming off of a 2021 divisional round heartbreaking loss in the last few seconds in regulation and in overtime. The Buffalo Bills have a lot of their core still intact from these last two seasons, and that includes Jordan Poyer, Micah, Hyde. That includes guys like Dawson at the left tackle position, Stefon Diggs, and of course, the biggest reason for the Buffalo Bills' rise is quarterback Josh Allen. Josh Allen is coming off of back-to-back extremely productive seasons, and he really showed out in the divisional round against the Chiefs last year. He made it be known that he is a quarterback that is here to stay, and he put himself right there amongst the elite quarterbacks that we have in the NFL. He's going into this 2022 season with MVP expectations. He has the arm strength. He can do a lot of things with his legs. He is a very dynamic quarterback, and he is the reason that the Buffalo Bills offense has been so good over the past two seasons. One of those reasons of the Buffalo Bills offense being so good the past 2 years was Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator. Well, Brian Daboll is no longer with the Buffalo Bills, as he left to take a head coaching job with the New York Giants, and they have an incumbent offensive coordinator who's been with the staff for the last few seasons, and that is Ken Dorsey. He is going to be one of the most watched coaches that we have in the NFL because of the Bills' expectations and because of the things that Josh Allen has been able to do under offensive coordinator Brian Daboll. Now, that does help that the Buffalo Bills kept the offensive coordinator in-house, and that they have a guy that Josh Allen has some rapport with and that Josh Allen is still familiar with. It's going to remain to be seen what changes are the Buffalo Bills going to do with their offense. And speaking of the pieces on their offense, of course you have, I believe, one of the top 5 receivers in the NFL is Stefon Diggs. You have Gabriel Davis, who absolutely showed out with 4 touchdown receptions in the divisional round against the Kansas City Chiefs last year. You have Dawson Knox, who is one of the better tight ends that we have in the NFL. They signed O.J. Howard, and when he's healthy, he is a very productive tight end. And they also added wide receiver Jamison Crowder to add depth to this offense, along with the offensive line of Deion Dawkins, Roger Saffold, Mitch Morse at the center position, Ryan Bates at guard, and Spencer Brown at the right tackle position. You look at this Buffalo Bills offense, it still has the potential to be one of the more potent offenses that we have in the NFL. Josh Allen is, I believe, going to win the MVP. I'm giving this away a little bit too early, but I still believe Josh Allen is the guy that can win the MVP in this upcoming 2022 season. And of course, you have a defense with the Buffalo Bills that is still solid as well. Of course, you have middle linebacker Tremaine Edmunds, who's played some really solid football. Matt Milano at the other linebacker position, who's played well. Ed Oliver is starting to come into his own. You have strong safety Jordan Poyer, who's been an all-pro. Michael Hyde, who's been a very good and productive player. And on top of that, you add a guy, pass rushing specialist with just one of the better pass rushers in football. You add a guy in Von Miller to this defense. And Tre'Davious White, let's not forget about him. He is coming back healthy after missing the latter half of 2021 due to a torn ACL. And I also believe that if Tre'Davious White was also healthy, that divisional game might have turned out a little bit different, but that's another topic for another day. But you look at this Buffalo Bills roster. You look at this Buffalo Bills team. They have the absolute most potential to overtake the Cincinnati Bengals, I believe, out of any team of the AFC. But speaking of the Cincinnati Bengals, the Bengals are a team that made some improvements to their offensive line, which was their biggest weakness last year. You have Jamar Chase coming into year 2. Joe Burrow, still one of the better quarterbacks that we have in football. Defensively led by J.C. Bates, they are still a very formidable unit. So the Cincinnati Bengals, with the improvements of the offensive line, have put themselves right there back in contention in the AFC. And another team they are going to be competing with is the team that they lost back-to-back playoff games to, and that would be the Kansas City Chiefs. Even though they lost Tyreek Hill, they lost Tyrann Mathieu, you can't count this Kansas City Chiefs team out. As long as they have Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid in that system, it's going to be hard to count the Kansas City Chiefs out until you absolutely see them bottom out. Now, over the course of this channel, I've not been a fan of their defense, and it's going to be interesting to see if that defense can still be formidable without a guy with the leadership and the playmaking ability of Tyrann Mathieu back there at the safety position. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs are still a formidable team, and another team that is on the rise that I believe is going to put themselves in the AFC Championship game type of competition and type of force, and that will be the Los Angeles Chargers. You have Justin Herbert is still developing. He's in his 3rd year along with Joe Burrow, one of the better quarterbacks. They added pieces like Khalil Mack. They added J.C. Jackson. You still have Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, Mike Williams, and you still have a very solid offensive line. Joey Bosa as well to pair with Khalil Mack. So you have a very formidable Chargers team to compete with. And the reasons that I think the Buffalo Bills will overtake all the rest of those teams, I think that because they've been together longer, they've been through so much as a unit. It is about time that Sean McDermott, Josh Allen, and the rest of these unit get ahead of that hump. Now, I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to take a step back. The Cincinnati Bengals will still be there. The Chargers will still be there. It is my belief that the Buffalo Bills are going to be the team that represents the AFC in this upcoming Super Bowl, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But hey, those are my thoughts of the Buffalo Bills possibly being the AFC champions. Leave your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to see what you guys think. And if you've gotten to this point, make sure you leave this video a like, as it always helps the channel to grow and to beats the algorithm. And if you are not subscribed, make sure you click the subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the content that I post. But it's APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great and excellent day, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.